Hey guys, in this video we're gonna be checking out the top 10 best mirrorless cameras that are available on the market for their true quality. I made this list based in my personal opinion and hours of research and have listed them based on popularity, quality, price, durability, user opinions and more. If you want to see more information in the updated price, you can check out the description below and also make sure subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Starting at number 10, we have the Nikon Z5 camera. The Nikon Z5 is the best entry-level full-frame mirrorless camera you can buy right now. Although it depends a little on how you define entry-level. On the spec sheet, there's plenty that appeals. A large 24MP full-frame sensor produces lovely images in well-lit situations, while the big, bright EVF and 3-inch tilt-angle touchscreen make composing shots a joy. The 273-point autofocus is also very effective, coping well with both static and moving subjects. And the camera itself is a lovely thing to shoot with, offering a large, comfy grip and a nice control layout. Less impressive is the 4.5 fps burst shooting speed, while a tight 1.7x sensor crop on 4K footage limits its use as a videography tool. Still, it should tick pretty much all the boxes for those new to the genre or Nikon fans after a second body. The biggest issue? Cost. As prices for the older but more capable Nikon Z6 continue to fall, the Z5 looks like a less persuasive proposition. Moving on, at number 9, we have the Panasonic Lumix S5 full-frame mirrorless camera. Smaller than the Panasonic Lumix GH5, which has a comparatively tiny 4/3 sensor, the Lumix S5 is a great full-frame option for those who need a strong video performer with solid stills performance. While it's truly a hybrid camera, the S5 is particularly strong when it comes to shooting video, thanks to its uncropped 4K 30p shooting and high-end features that include dual native ISO and vlog recording. If you're looking to shoot vlogging segments, there's also a vari-angle screen and in-body image stabilization. IBIS on hand to help, too. Okay, the mediocre 7 fps burst shooting means it isn't the best option for action or wildlife snappers, but it does have a 6K photo mode to compensate, which lets you extract 18MP stills from a video sequence. And the autofocus, while not quite up to the level of Sony and Canon's latest full-framers, is certainly better than Panasonic's previous incarnation. In fact, for video shooters who need to also a large amount of stills, the Lumix S5's only real rival at this price point is the incoming Sony A7C. At number 8, we have the Sony Alpha 7R IV full-frame mirrorless camera. Sony's A7R line of cameras has been all about resolution, and the A7R IV delivers a lot more of it than ever before. Its class-leading 61MP delivers an excellent level of detail, augmented by the impressive pixel shift multi-shooting mode. An update to the autofocus system has made it faster and smarter, with Face and Eye Detect AF working amazingly well. But with Sony at the helm, there was no doubt about that. The camera body is now even more sturdy and better equipped to handle the worst of the elements while out on field, while the deeper grip makes it comfortable to use over long periods of time. Although the addition of top plate command dial makes the mode dial a little harder to access. And while the A7R series wasn't designed with videographers in mind, video quality here is excellent, even though the rolling shutter effect is an issue. At number 7, we have the Fujifilm X-T200 mirrorless digital camera. A fine choice for anyone moving up from smartphone shooting, the Fujifilm X-T200 combines a large, sharp 3.5 inches touchscreen with a lovely design that feels much nicer in the hands than its predecessor. It's a big step up from its X-T100 predecessor in most ways, including autofocus. And unlike the Fujifilm X-A7, the X-T200 also crucially has a built-in viewfinder for framing your shots. The only real downside compared to pricier models in this list is that the X-T200 subject tracking can be a little hit and miss during burst shooting and isn't available in video mode. But it otherwise offers excellent value and is a great alternative to rivals like the Sony a6100, see above, and Canon EOS M50 Mark II. At number 6, we have the Sony Alpha A6100 mirrorless camera. The Sony A6000 remains a popular mirrorless camera for beginners, but 5 years after its launch the A6100 brings its skills up to date in a familiar but more capable package. Borrowing an APS-C sensor from Sony's premium mirrorless cameras, the A6100 also deploys the flagship A6600's autofocus system to deliver outstanding continuous tracking capability that's rapid and reliable for both stills and video. Image quality is as expected, with good detail and decent colors, though a neutral profile would be welcome, while battery life is solid and the tilting screen is now touch-sensitive. Albeit with limited functionality. Not everything has changed, mind. The LCD and EVF both remain relatively low res and maximum burst is still 11 fps, while buffering performance can sometimes stumble, so it's not perfect and unlocking its full potential can take time, but the A6100 is certainly a top mirrorless all-rounder that should follow in the footsteps of its best-selling forebear. At number 5, we have the Z50DX format mirrorless camera. The Z50 was a strong debut for Nikon in the mid-range mirrorless market. It's since been joined by the retro Nikon ZFC, which offers very similar specs in a body that looks like a Nikon FM2 SLR from the 1980s. But if you prefer DSLR-style handling, then the Z50's generous grip may well be the better choice for you. It's lovely to hold in the hand and balance well with longer lenses. The Z50's high-resolution viewfinder and tilting touchscreen are impressive, while 4K video and reliable autofocus, using the same hybrid system as the Nikon Z6, complete a great value package. The Z50 uses SD cards rather than the more expensive XQD format, though the single slot is only compatible with slower USI cards, which limits its continuous shooting speeds. Perhaps the biggest challenge the Z50 faces is the limited native lens range, but this will surely grow, and the twin lens kit is a versatile buy. For those looking to move from a Nikon DSLR to mirrorless, the Z50 is a great choice. At number 4, we have the Sony Alpha 1 full-frame mirrorless camera. Mirrorless cameras are renowned for their technological advancements, and the Sony A1 shows the format's evolution isn't slowing. In almost every way, it's the best mirrorless camera you can buy. Superlative burst speeds mean you can capture detailed, high-resolution images at 30 fps, while the 759-point hybrid autofocus is equal parts rapid and reliable. The 50.1 MP full-frame sensor is also handy for videography, with the A1 capable of shooting 8K footage at 30 fps in 10-bit 4:2 or 4K at 120/60 fps in 10-bit 4:2. In the hand, the A1 hits a comfortable sweet spot between Sony's A7 and A9 series cameras, while the incredible 9.44 million OLED EVF renders the average LCD display somewhat superfluous. Its menu system is complicated, but that's largely a reflection of the Sony A1's astonishing skill set. This is a mirrorless camera that's as useful for studio portraits as it is for fast-paced wildlife action. Yes, there are mirrorless cameras that offer better value, and the A1 will be overkill for the majority of photographers. But if you want the pinnacle in mirrorless performance in 2021, the Sony A1 should top your list. At number 3, we have the Fujifilm X-T30 mirrorless digital camera. Despite its age, this little gem remains our favorite small, powerful mirrorless camera, while we're big fans of its bigger brother, the X-T4. See number 1. This model's combination of travel-friendly size and impressive performance make it a fantastic choice for those who need something a little less bulky. It's no longer brand new, given it launched in February 2019. But the flip side to its age is that you can pick it up for some excellent prices, and it remains a very modern camera with few weaknesses. You get the same 26.1 MP APS-C sensor and processing engine as the Fujifilm X-T3, making it suitable for everything from sports snapping to landscape photography. This is helped by a phase detect AF system that covers almost the entire frame, plus the usual range of Fujifilm's excellent film simulation modes, which subtly ape the company's old film looks. It's a fantastic, charming little all-rounder. At number 2, we have the Nikon Z7 II FX format mirrorless camera. Although a fairly subtle evolution of the original Z7, it's arguable that Nikon didn't need to make too many changes to its impressive top-line mirrorless full-frame camera. A major criticism has been addressed by the adding of a secondary memory card slot for the Mark II version, while an additional processor helps to boost its all-round performance. You now get 4K, 60p video recording, plus 10 FPS shooting and a buffer that clears more quickly. The Nikon Z system is also growing at rapid pace, with several lenses and accessories available, making it a much more attractive overall ecosystem than when the original Z7 launched. That's not to say this camera is perfect. For those who shoot action, there are better options out there, but for Nikon fans in particularly, the Z7 II is a very strong choice. And finally at number 1, we have the Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera. Canon really pulled out all the stops with the EOS R5, lightweight yet substantial in the hand. It's the company's best mirrorless camera to date. High-resolution, full-frame and driven by the powerful Digic X processor, it's an exceptional tool for stills photographers. Next-gen dual-pixel autofocus is outstanding, offering impressively accurate tracking and mind-blowing animal detection. Image quality is similarly superlative, producing remarkable results even in low light, with minimal noise even as high as ISO 4000. Add 20 FPS continuous shooting with the electronic shutter and you've got a pro-level mirrorless camera that's as comfortable in the studio as it is on the street. Its battery life can't rival a DSLR, but a good 4 hours of intensive shooting is possible on a single charge. Its video specs are also staggering for a camera of this size, capturing 8K at up to 30 FPS or 4K at up to 120 FPS, and recent firmware upgrades have only boosted its appeal for videographers. However, it's worth bearing in mind that heat restrictions do limit recording times, while cool-down periods can be lengthy. Making the most of that performance will also require investment in costly CF Express cards. Though if you can afford the R5's top-end price tag, perhaps that won't be an issue. Thanks you for watching guys, I hope you liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, please make sure like, comment and subscribe. If you have any question related to this product you can leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.